Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's Halloween. Yep. It's Halloween. Alright, welcome back. I'm not going to wear that the whole video. And it explains this. Yes. The goatee. Yep. Get used to seeing it like this for only a day, because tomorrow it'll be gone altogether and we'll have to start afresh. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. This is the commitment I go to for Halloween. And I was thinking about just patching a video while I had this. You know, it's not exactly the fashion you're used to, but here we are. We've got a game tomorrow to talk about, a massive game for Celtic that ends off what has been an incredibly busy month for Celtic. We're finally at the end. It sort of flew in, hasn't it? Because it feels like yesterday I was making that video right at the start of the month, talking about how busy October was going to be and how it rounded off with a game against Livingston at the Tony Macaroni. It feels like it felt like then it would take ages to get there, and here we are through the Champions League games, through the Cup game, and every league game in between, and we have reached what is one of the most difficult venues, as we know, for Celtic to play at tomorrow. Livingston, a tough test. Last week, Livingston picking up points at Ibrox. Celtic looking to keep that gap as big as it is at the top of the table. It's something we don't want to fumble, and tomorrow will be a massive test for Celtic. Shall we just get into the news for today? The biggest part of the news about players, returns, fitness and all that. Carry on. Let's just kick it off with that. Postecoglou has confirmed Jota's back in training. Starfelt's back in training. Welsh is back in training. Everybody is in training bar one. Callum McGregor is the only player who is out. Obviously, he won't be back till after the World Cup, we assume. But 5 games in the next 13 days. It's a huge ask for Celtic. But we can do it, and we're gladly reading that we're doing it with, you know, all of our best there, bar McGregor. Jota being back is huge. Will he be involved tomorrow? We're yet to see, but it's a busy schedule of games. I wouldn't be surprised if he nurses Jota back into action. Maybe if he saves him. He was only present at Friday's training session, so you know, he might be involved tomorrow, he might not be, but the good news is he's back there. He'll be ready to be picked for future games before this World Cup break. Starfelt and Welsh being back is huge too. It's a very busy time for Celtic with these games before the World Cup, and we're going to need as many fit players as possible. So that was the good news, and Postecoglou will be delighted, of course, just like we are. So let's talk about the game itself then. Celtic heading to, of course, the plastic park of the Tony Macaroni in Livingston, a venue which we broke. We finally broke that hoodoo in last year. We got the big win, and I'm hoping that is the kind of catapult for success at a venue which we've seen very little over the past few years. It was a cracking day. It was nice to finally win there after all the trips. I finally got to watch us win there in the flesh, and hopefully that'll be the same when I'm there tomorrow. Hopefully we'll win in the flesh, because we're a team who are on really good form domestically at the moment. We've been scoring lots of goals. Defensively, we've been pretty astute. And you know, we've now got the kind of the weight of the Champions League off our shoulders. Not entirely. We have to play Real Madrid, of course, next week, which is the last game. But, you know, the pressure of will they, won't they is sort of gone now. You know, we know we're not going to qualify for European football after Christmas. And we do only have that last stop. So that kind of, if there is that sort of mental fatigue from all of these games and the pressure of performing in 2 competitions, it's sort of been lifted. And that's not to say we're not going to try against Real Madrid, or we shouldn't be aiming to try and win that game. But I think that it might just lift something off of us a little bit, knowing that the kind of constraints of the next game is very competitive as well, or is very important as well, is kind of gone. But Livingston's a tough task, and they played really well last week against Rangers at points in that game. They obviously held the lead for quite a while, and they were unlucky not to see 3 points. That red card probably done them out of it. But, you know, it's a tough game. It's a tighter park. Celtic, you know, we watch these away games all the time, and we see the differences between a Parkhead performance and an away venue performance, particularly these plastic parks. You're suddenly so much tighter. You need to kind of, the surface kind of restrains you from playing the ball along the surface the way you'd want to. It's always a different game, and the players have to adjust to that. We are now in a position where we have seen us play in these, you know, seen us play at Kelly. We won 5-0 there at the start of the season. We've seen us win finally at Livingston last season. You look at these performances, and this is a group of players now who I think it doesn't really faze them, and I don't think it needs to be as big a conversation as it always has been. I think that these guys just go out there, they do it, and they do it with the full intensity and the full speed that we would normally on a grass park anyway. So it's always been a conversation, but nowadays, I don't really feel like it needs to be as much. You look at Livingston's form in the Premiership, it actually has been really decent so far this season, and David Martindale, once again, doing a decent job with the limited resources that he's got. So looking at the opposition, 3 wins in their last 6, and unbeaten in 4 of their last 6. Only 2 losses in amongst there. I mean, it's got to the point where some Rangers fans are suggesting the possibility of Martindale being their caretaker manager. So that kind of suggests how well that Martindale's doing at Livi just now. The big man, Mobley, is the one that I think, or Nubly, I've called him Mobley. Nubly is the one that I think we need to look out for. He'll be, you know, he's the kind of striker that typically Livingston have caused us problems with in the past. You know, big, physical, he's got a presence there, and he knows how to score as well. He scored obviously against Rangers, hit the griddy on them last week and everything. I want us to avoid that, but he's the one that worries me a bit. I've been saying that a couple of times when I've seen him this season, especially in Rangers in the opening day. He looked a handful, and he might not possess the technical ability or the technical presence that, you know, our strikers do or other team strikers do, but he's certainly got that bit about him that in recent years has made Celtic defenders struggle at this stadium. So he's the one that I think we need to look out for the most. But a decent team. They will be missing Montano. He's out, I believe. And then who got sent off last week again? It'll come to me. I had to look it up. I forgot. Morgan Boys. He'll be out as well. I think there's another couple of players who are out for Livingston. So, you know, they have got their worries in there, but you know they're going to set up in that same way that frustrates life for Celtic. There's no surprises or no discussion when it comes to playing these sides, because it's typically the same thing that you expect. For Celtic, the question is now, who do we play? Because we've got options. We've been rotating a lot. Of course, we had that big game against Shakhtar during the week. It's a big opportunity for a lot of players to come out and perform in this game when given the nod. For me, this is the 11 I would go for on screen. Haksabanovic, very interestingly enough, out in the media this week, given, and I think you'll probably have seen it on Hamish's channel, he covered it. About how he's wanting to step his game up. He's got more levels to come, and that's very exciting because he's been really good so far. But I'll throw up the team again, sorry. This is what I'd go for. Joe Hart in goals. I'd like to see Tony Ralston back in the starting 11, so I'm going to go for Ralston, Vickers, Jens and Taylor. Yes, I know that Bernabei could be given the nod, but I'm going to stick with Taylor for now, and I think Jens will still start over Starfelt once again, just like when he returned from an injury in the past. I think it will be kind of eased in for Carl Starfelt. A midfield 3 of O'Reilly, Moy and Hatate. I think that will be the 3. In the middle, of course, Moy came off the bench against Shakhtar during the week, but I think he'll start this week. And a front 3 of Forrest, Giacomakis and Haksabanovic. Yes, that's the team I'm going to go with. Now, it's hard to guess because it could be Maida. Who knows? You might throw in Jota. It could be Abada. It could be Kyogo. You can never guess with our front 3. But I've just got a funny feeling that's the front 3 for tomorrow. So take my word on it to that extent. And score predictions, obviously sad to still miss Cal McGregor. We really missed him during the week and probably will tomorrow as well. Score predictions, I'm going to go for 2-0 Celtic. Yes, let's continue the winning ways at the Tony Macaroni. That is the main thing. So 2-0 is what I'm going to go for. And that about does it. I've had to fly through this one. Busy day, as you can tell with this. So I need to get this one up and out, and I've not really managed to go in as much depth as I'd like. But yeah, I'm here anyway. So make sure to like and subscribe. Give it one for the goatee. This is the only time you see this in the channel, so it's a one of a kind limited edition Ryan 118 video. Yes. See you all next time.